Seems like everyone around me have been asking the same questions lately.
Hey, what do you think about this shoe? Is this one good for running? I want to buy a new pair, but I don't know where to start.
And I get it. It should be as simple as picking out your underwear for the day, right? Except it's not. Because here's the truth. There is no such thing as the best shoe ever. Everyone's feet and their running style is different. You have to take in consideration things like weight, stride, cadence, the way people move, their running gait, their running goals, and lots of many other factors. So instead of choosing that one best shoe out there, I want to help you find your best shoe. It's the one that fits your feet, your lifestyle, and most importantly, your goals. And by the end, I hope you'll be able to go to the store and say, that is what I want. And that's the goal for this 3-part series. Just a quick disclaimer before we dive in. I'm not sponsored by any brand. I don't claim myself to be a shoe expert. I haven't tested every model out there and every shoe, and so I can only say from my own experience. And lastly, what works for me may not work for you, so please take this into consideration. If you end up buying a shoe because of me and you didn't like it in the end, please don't come after me. So, as Kofuzi always says, let's start with the daily trainer. Think of it as your workhorse. It doesn't have to be flashy or fast. It's just something easy, simple that you can just put it on and just go out for a run. Your daily trainer should be something that's for easy and recovery runs. It's something for long, maybe slow run, and it's definitely one pair of shoe that you don't mind getting it dirty. It is not about the performance, it's about the consistency. Now typically, these shoes are built with comfort and durability in mind. They're also more affordable than a lot of the crazy super shoes or big foams out there, and they don't cost as much. In fact, you can probably use about 5 to 700 km on it, and even more, to be honest. So, why do we start here? Because for most runners, especially beginners, this will be the shoe that they use 80% of the time. It is less about chasing pace, but more about building the habit. Let's be honest, price is usually the first and the biggest factor. When someone asks me what kind of shoe that they should get, the first question I always ask them is, what's your price or what's your budget? Because the reality is, there is a huge range of prices and all sorts of shoes. They can range from 300-400 all the way to maybe 8 or 9 or even to 1,000 and above. You don't need to splurge right away. What you need is value. Take this Asics Novablast 4 Paris edition for example. I got this pair for about 550 ringgit at the time, and after clocking in about maybe 400 Ks, it's still going pretty strong. The FF Blast Plus foam has kind of lost a little bit of its spark, but it's still going strong, it's still durable, and I can still do a lot of runs in it. And the best part, it is now retailing for about 384 ringgit, so it's a great deal for anyone who wants to start out. I would highly recommend this shoe. It's comfortable, it's durable, you can do a lot of easy runs in it, and it's a no frills kind of shoe, so it's just really simple, something you can use every day. If you want to get a newer version, the version 5 is out now and it's retailing between 479 to 599 depending on the color that you want, and it has a softer foam in it in the FF Blast Max. That means it feels softer underfoot, whereas this one would feel a little bit firmer than that. I would suggest that you go to the store and maybe try it out for yourself and see which one fits better for you. They are still selling both versions, and they even have a white option if you have white feet. Are there cheaper options out there? Of course! There are a lot of China brands now. Brands like Xtep and Li-Ning and even Anta. They are selling a lot of running shoes. They're becoming very versatile in their brand. And I've tried some of their shoes myself, but for me personally, I'm not a big fan of their foams because of the way they feel. Somehow they feel a little bit more firmer than what I would like, whereas I usually prefer something that has a balance of both firmness and bounciness and comfort as well. They have a lot of options of shoes that ranges from 400 to less. So if you're on a budget, I would suggest that you can try it yourself as well. Maybe you will like it. So price-wise, I definitely want you to get started with something that fits your budget and what you are willing to spend on. If you do have a bigger capacity to enlarge that range, then you have more options to choose from, you have more things to try, and so Go ahead, be my guest, but you definitely don't have to splurge a lot on your first pair of daily trainers. And now that we've talked about budget, let's talk about what function a shoe can do. Sometimes you don't want a shoe that's just good for easy runs. You might want something that's more versatile, that can do a few things, maybe some tempo runs or even intervals, something you can kind of go faster in. And so, a very good choice for that is the Adidas Evo SL. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are familiar with this shoe. It's very popular until today, and you've definitely seen it in your local run club or just anywhere out there where people are just running. Technically, it was out in limited release at the end of 2023, and it's still very popular today because of this Light Strike Pro foam. Now, technically, this is a race foam that's been taken from the old Adidas Adios Pro 3 racing shoe, but they've put it in a daily trainer shoe, which makes it very versatile for you to go on easy runs, maybe slow ones, and you can even go for faster, long tempo work, and I've even used it for long runs myself. It's light, it's responsive, and it's pretty good for all sorts of runs. A lot of people have classified this as a super trainer, which is a shoe that can pretty much do everything. However, one of its downsides is that it is not the most stable shoe that you can find. Because there's no stiffening agent like a plate in between to help it stabilize itself, it does rock a little bit left and right. So if you're someone who has ankle issues or you prefer something with more stability, I wouldn't recommend this shoe a lot. But if you're someone who wants a shoe that can kind of do it all, including your easy runs and your faster workouts and maybe some long runs, I would definitely encourage you to look at this, that is still selling like hotcakes today. It is retailing for $669 on the Adidas website at the moment. There are lots of colors to choose from. It's a little bit on the pricier end compared to the Nova Blast, but if you like the look, you like the function and what it can do for you, I would highly suggest you to go and try it out and see for yourself. Another option that I have for you, which is a little bit cheaper, is an older model as well, but I would still say it's a pretty good value shoe, is the Adidas SL2. So this shoe, I actually got it in Sports Direct because I originally wanted a shoe where I can kind of just use it for at the gym for when I'm lifting weights. Little did I know that it was actually a pretty good running shoe as well. It has a dual foam midsole, which has a Light Strike Pro wedge right in the middle here, and it's surrounded by Light Strike 2.0 foam that is a more durable and firmer foam that helps to keep it stable. This is definitely heavier than the Evo SL for sure, and I'm not the biggest fan of the laces, to be honest, but it is retailing at $449 at the moment. And if you're looking for something that is quite cushiony, it's pretty sturdy and very simple as well, can do many types of runs, and if you don't mind an older model, I would suggest you to check it out. Now here's the point of the whole video. Why are you buying these shoes in the first place? It sounds like a simple question, but it matters because we've all been there, convincing ourselves that we need to buy these pair of shoes, and they end up sitting in the corner or in the shoe rack, not seeing the light of day again. So I want you guys to ask yourself, am I buying these shoes because I want to start running consistently? Am I training for a race or maybe for an event? Or do I just want to have a very simple casual shoe to jog and maybe walk around in? Your why determines your what. If your goal is to start running 2 to 3 times a week, don't even overthink it. Just get something that's simple, casual, and then can do a lot of runs in. But if you're training for a race, you might want to consider getting something lighter so that you can kind of rotate between your daily trainer. Because at the end of the day, running shoes are not just about running, they're about commitment. Buying a pair that fits you well, keeps you accountable. Every time you see the shoe waiting for you at the door, and if it makes you want to go and run, now that's a beautiful thing. So in conclusion, the best kind of daily trainer is the one that gets you to show up. It doesn't matter how fancy or fast the shoes are, what matters is that they get you out of the door. Start with what feels good first and good for your wallet, build that consistency and habit, and soon, you can't even imagine yourself not going out for a run. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for part 2.